Hello, friends. This is Chandrakant from Akulmach, and today we would like to touch upon a business subject. And the subject is like this: when we set up our company, we actually spend a lot of our own efforts and revenue in building the company, building the product line, building the team, etc., and do not focus too much on the sales and marketing setup, which is basically the prime cause why we started the company in the first place. If there is no sales and marketing, there will be no revenue, there'll be no business, there'll be no company. But 90% of these chief executives do not focus on building this right from day one. And that becomes a second step for the chief executives. To discuss this aspect further, let me invite my friend from UK, Mr. Neville Gaunt.
Good morning, CK. Good morning, everybody. And it's an interesting subject in many respects because when you're first starting in a company, you're an entrepreneur. You're thinking of something that may be different to anybody else doing it. And if it's not different from anybody else, it's doing something better than somebody else. So, for instance, we see lots of people create an online shop and they sell lots of things. And some people do it better than others. Why is that? Why is it that some people do it better than others? Because that's the fundamental question we need to be asking here. And it's primarily because they have a sales and marketing hat. So shall we explain what this sales and marketing hat is? Because it's really fundamental to the whole reason why you're in business. It's actually putting yourself out there as a customer and looking at your company, your products, your services as a customer would look at them. Because that's what good sales and marketing people do. They go and solve a problem for somebody else. If they don't know what the problem is, they don't know what they're solving. So what we need to be doing is asking the simple question, am I solving a problem? If so, what problem is it? Now, there's nothing difficult in that, is there, CK?
Well, it's not difficult, but from my own experience, I feel that almost 60 to 70% of the chief executive do not even know the difference between what is sales and what is marketing. And they put everything in one bucket. And since they are not very comfortable with this, and it's sort of a taboo among some of the people, they tend not to focus on it. And they spend all of their revenue, all of their savings, and time and effort on building a product, building a company, building a team without the knowledge of how they are going to sell it once the product is ready, once the services is ready. They don't really focus on it. And there is other side of few characters who then also say that, I will engage with somebody and I will just pay him 2% and he will bring orders to me. So I think there are these two kinds of people which are in always in dilemma in their mind, not having very good clarity between sales and marketing and why they are in business in the first place. I think that is what uh, I expect you to clarify to the viewers today.
When you were mentioning about they'll find salespeople or commission-based people so they can sell it for them, I reflected immediately on about 20 inquiries on LinkedIn that asked me to connect over the last week. And each one of those inquiries is trying to sell something to me. And when they realize that I'm not interested in what they have to sell, and I'm very polite, I don't normally dismiss them out of hand. I will say I'm really not interested in that, but there's lots of people that would be. Immediately they turn around and said, well, if you refer us, we give you a commission. And this is an automatic response, and it's the automatic response of a lot of people that really don't understand about relationships. Because if I've got a really good relationship with you, CK, anything you do out there, I'll send it to other people. I'll say, I really think you should be looking at this arena. I really think you should be taking this into consideration. In other words, focusing other people on what you have. That doesn't mean that I want a payment for it. In fact, it means the opposite. It means I want people to take action on some of the advice I'm giving, because in some respects, they know me, they're following me, they have a relationship with me. And if I'm trying to impart some friendly advice and just saying, look at this over here, I think that's really going to help you. Or have you thought of this? This might help you. Just trying to nudge them into thinking for themselves. I mean, that's my day job, frankly. Some people call me the CEO nudger. Because I do try and nudge people to just think for themselves. I mean, of course I have an opinion. Not just opinion about what I do, but about what you do. But unless you really want it, or you want me to coach you or mentor you about it, I'm not going to give it. I'll just give you, my thoughts on a subject. And I think this is where a lot of people need to start to be a little bit more focused about what they're doing. Why are they doing it? You have some great products and services, but if your audience isn't listening and not buying, then you've got the message wrong. So now what we need to do is work out what the message is. And there's a really simple way how we can work out what that message is. I'm going to put you on the spot, CK, all right? The simplest way of finding out if your message is right, what would you do?
Well, I think the simplest way is talk to my 10 of my closest friends.
There you go. There you go. Ask somebody. It's really simple, and it's the entrepreneur's delight, because as soon as you realize that all you've got to do is ask, and ask in an open and honest way, I really want your help. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Or if this came to you, what would you think? And your friends, as you said, you go to your 10 of your closest friends, because your friends, hopefully, will tell you the truth. They won't tell you what you want to hear. If they're telling you what you want to hear, go back to them and say, you're not really being friendly. You're just making me feel good. Frankly, make me feel uncomfortable. Be honest with me. And a lot of people just can't do that, and they can't ask the question, and they can't take the feedback. And it's all about asking the question, having that relationship, asking the question. Let me give you an example. A really good friend of mine is trying to promote a new website out there. It's a really important website for everybody, absolutely everybody. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it would be important for everybody to take into consideration. The background for the website is black. And I mean pitch black. And it's got white words on it. And it's got very, let's say, coding type style. So, for instance, if you were to write down protocol in a coding type style, you would look at some hieroglyphics, which you would work out to mean protocol. It would say protocol, but it's not using the letters, PROTOCOL, okay? And therefore, it makes it difficult, and it's hard work. And that feedback has been given, and there's been no action. They've just kept with it. And the interesting thing is, it's feedback from several thousand people, but they've taken no action. So if you want feedback and take feedback, then take action. Now, they may have 400,000 or 500,000 people signing up with absolutely no problem. I don't know that, okay? But I do know the feedback from several thousand people of saying, it's black. Why am I interested? It's not exciting. It doesn't reach out to me and grab me. And the words that they're using, well, I can understand what the letters are, but English isn't my first language. English is my second language. And I'm struggling with what these hieroglyphics are. So that is really the essence. It's finding out who your audience is and giving them what they want. Now, that can't be too difficult, can it?
Well, people don't have that mindset because I will tell you exactly. If maybe it is very peculiar here in this part of the world where I see most of the techies are taking a leap into an entrepreneur journey. And since they are techie from the point they started their career, they don't know what to do about making a positioning, making an elevator page, making a CRM, making a client list, etc. So they don't even bother about it. And once they are in their journey of about 6 to 7 months, um, then they start thinking about sales and starting finding who could be probably buying their services. But by the time they have already sunk in $1 million in their business, they have no money to hire a smart salesperson who can drive that strategy, and they're already late. So I see this quite often, at least in this market. But I also know for sure that it must be a global phenomenon. People don't have that mindset to basically start becoming salesy in nature rather than techie in nature.
No, you're absolutely right. And the interesting thing is, we do need a lot of technical solutions. I mean, I've seen some really good software solutions, or SaaS, as we might call it, software as a service solution. But they don't know how to market it. They're so close to it. They say, oh, you really should be doing this. Why? It's not good enough because I don't know you to tell me you really should be doing this. And it's no good enough for because I'm the sort of person that might be listening and asking you the question, well, why should I be listening? Why should I be doing this? And a lot of that is nudging. It's nudging back. And it's actually trying to get people to think with their next conversation. And we see this on LinkedIn all the time. I saw your profile and we've got lots of connections. Well, I've got something like 12,000 connections. I mean, do I know them all? Do I know all the ones that you're telling me that I'm supposed to know? And they're reading into this that they know them all. And then when you ask the question, well, do you know all yours? And the answer is, well, I only know the people I sell to, which is quite crazy. Well, you may as well just take all the rest off the list. Because if they're not interesting, at one point they'll have a relationship. And it's going back to this word relationship, we forget sales and marketing up front as entrepreneurs, but we shouldn't forget it because ultimately the business is only going to be in existence if you have something called turnover and there's a number by the side of it. So if you think of your profit and loss statement, or if you can't think that far, think about income and expenditure, 2 columns. Okay. And on the income side, it has to be sale. Sale, 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 sale. And it's just got 1 column. And each row says a sale, a sale, a sale, a sale. And your expenditure side, well, there's lots of rows, lots of different rows. Pamphlets, flyers, printing, business cards, meetings, telephone calls, broadband, flights, travel, entertainment. There's lots of lines on the expenditure side, but there's only one on the income side called sales. And we just need to focus on that word sale. Why will people buy from me if I have a Me Too product? And that's not a problem, actually. we suggest not have a Me Too product, but you differentiate yourself by saying, well, you might buy it from over here, but this is what we do. And focus on what you do. Why would someone come to you? What are your customers saying about you? As in TripAdvisor, and you and I have this conversation from time to time, as in TripAdvisor, a lot of people leave a comment about a great hotel, we'll be going back next year, already booked. And other people will say, the food was horrible, the service was worse, I'll never go back in a month of Sundays. You know, everyone has an opinion. You've just got to be smart enough to ask your customers, what's your opinion? And honest enough to take the feedback that they're giving you. And remember, people typically will be honest with you if you don't know them, because there's no comeback. You know, all they are is an avatar on a screen, typically, or on the back end of an email, or on a Twitter survey, or on an Instagram. You know, this was the dinner last night. This is what our residents said about it. It is so easy to put yourself out there and get feedback. So why don't we do it? That's the thing today. Get out there, start selling to people that you've never, ever heard of before. Get their feedback. If you like this, would you say something about it? Try this for free. You know, our TV is inundated with all these new mattresses that are coming out. You know, it's so good. We give you a 6-month money back offer. How are you confident enough in your business to do that? I'm not saying you should do it, but have you got the confidence to say it?
Well, I think for doing all of these different techniques, and there are different thousands other techniques also to build your brand presence, I think it's a specialized skills. And if you don't have it, in fact, one of my boss used to say that I know for sure, you know, I'm not very good in sales and marketing, but I can hire the best sales and marketing person. And you know, that kind of clarity that person had, and he built a very good global world-class company, sold it off to another world-class company, and so on, and he moved on. He made a lot of money, and he always had his eye on the revenue, even though he was not a very smart salesperson, but he had best salesperson hired for that company. So I think the clarity as a chief executive should be there, that you know, rather motivation. I think from your narration, I'm getting this feeling that you know, people should be motivated to do sales, and if they are not motivated, they should hire someone to do that for them, do all these activities for them. So if there is a discount coupons to be launched, you need a specialized team to do that. It's not something that you say from your mouth and some 10 people will listen and then buy the discount. It has to be, there is a process. So the process needs to be followed. And that is why, you know, I see most of the salespeople not being hired by these startup companies. And because of that, I compare startups with coffee shops. You know, the coffee shop fail in their first year of their starting, similar to any startup. They fail within first year of their starting. So because they don't focus on, you know, how to make revenue. They focus on, hey, this is a very good product, and I'm going to make this product, millions will download it, and after a couple of years, Microsoft will come and acquire me. It's just a dream, you know, which maybe I mean, people will have a lot of good products, but until unless you make noise in the market, nobody will know that the same product is there. And at the same time, you're not unique. There are 7 billion people on earth. While you start developing that product, there'll be someone in Croatia, could be someone in Greece, there could be someone in UK working on the same plan. So by the time you're ready, there could be somebody who's already doing sales and marketing. He's already building his backbone to launch his company, and he's already taken a leap. So first mover advantage will be given to the person who's already got 100 clients. So I think it's like that, Neville. And I really appreciate you coming and telling us about motivation. I think the people should be motivated to do sales and marketing, if especially when they are launching their companies.
You're absolutely right. I mean, the interesting thing here is without an income, you have no company. Anyone can give things away for nothing. No, I'm at a point in my life where I give lots of things away because I don't need the income. I'm not even looking for an income stream. I want you to be successful. I want you to think about where you're going with your organization. And that's the key. No income, no company. It's as fundamental as that. Even a charity, no income, no company. Even if the income is coming from donations, it's still an income. It's still a donation. Why are people giving it to you? And that's the key. And you're absolutely right, CK. I know very few entrepreneurs that are very good at selling. Unless they're actually in selling, they're not very good at selling. They're very good at telling a story, which is good enough in some respects to get some sales. But the real companies, and you mentioned the coffee shop, okay? The coffee shop is all about footfall. It's all about where you are in your marketplace, the physical location of the coffee shop. We have seen during the pandemic where, although coffee shops can't sell for people to sit down, there is a takeaway service and there's also a delivery service. And some really smart people have turned into that delivery service because people are now, some people are frightened to go out, even those that go into offices. They would much rather someone deliver lunch to them than they would go out and choose which lunch to go and buy. Two things. The number of choices have been reduced considerably because there aren't that many shops that open. But more importantly, people are scared to literally go past the front door. So those companies that have been really successful have focused on their customer. What does the customer want? What's the customer feeling? Well, the customer's feeling pretty much like I'm feeling at the moment. We're in lockdown. You know, can I go to the shops? No. Where can I get my stuff? Online. This is not rocket science. So those that have developed an online service, so it's not like an online product in an online service, have been the ones that have really won in this situation. It's not the bricks and mortar that's won. It's the thought processes of the individuals living in the bricks and mortar that have won. It's the real entrepreneurs that are out there, the ones that are thinking about their customer. And that's the message for today, really. Just turn your motivation away from being about me and about being about your company. What's important for your company are customers. What are they thinking? What do they want? Why do they want it? How do they want it? When do they want it? How often do they want it? And then you'll start to think about all those questions that are going through your customer's mind. You know, we deliver within an hour. That's a pretty good phrase, isn't it? And if you're on the high street and you say, if you're in a 1 mile radius, we deliver within the hour. And why can you say that? Well, you can walk to this other company and back within an hour. You know, even short paces, it's a 40-minute return. You can do 1 mile in about 20 minutes. And not only that, it's quite healthy. You know, and when you're going and making that delivery, you know, have a big placard with you on the side. You know, we deliver locally. Have pamphlets with you where you're handing it out to people along the way. We deliver locally. And believe you me, these are not thoughts coming out of my head. This is what I've seen people do. Now that's true entrepreneurship. That's thinking about your business, making a difference. So today it's about motivating yourself to get your business moving. and just
I
thinking like a customer.
absolutely, Neville. These are very powerful advices that you have given us, and I think more and more chief executive must think about sales and marketing, building their business from ground up. And I think they should start their sales and marketing engine even before they start investing money in building their services. That is very important. That's the message I get. And with this message, I will close the discussion today with a request from all the chief executives to get motivated towards sales and marketing. So thank you so much, Neville, for joining us today. We will catch up again tomorrow on something more interesting.
My pleasure, CK. Have fun, everybody. It's only Monday.
Bye bye.